In the Foster's Cup, St Kilda and the West Coast Eagles. Scott underneath the ball, actually knocked down by McKenna. A chance for St Kilda, and the ball picked up down there by Kitschke. Drives to left half forward. No mark paid. Coughlin in the thick of things. Went down with the ball, came up with it. And chance for the Eagles now. Lamb on the end of a hand pass. Ball booted down towards right half forward. Grant for St Kilda. Around Hines. Rice. Ball pretty close to the boundary line. Laurie. Scott in front. Can't take the mark. It's Coughlin. St Kilda Rover read it better. Wobbly kick up towards half forward. Cracker should get there first. Offloaded. That's a push in the back. And he'll take the free kick. Ball will be brought back.
Time up! Time up!
Cracker at left half forward. Too far out to score. The 80 metres from goal. It's not a bad sort of a kick. Scott getting underneath it. The high fly was Brennan. Is that a play on call? Looked as though he was dragged high. Umpire, as you heard, called play on. The clearing kick came down there from Worsfold, the new captain. And there's another former captain, Steve Malaxos.
Just looking at that full forward line, Lockett, Brian Wilson, the former Melbourne player, and Jimmy Cracker is not a bad full forward line. And here's a chance for Mick Dwyer. A hand pass over the top. Now there was interference as he handballed, and the kick will come back to Dwyer about 20 metres out directly in front. So should be a goal coming up here to the Saints.
Well, that was a classic display of ruck work there by the St Kilda players. Big Stewie Lowe getting the left-handed tap over, and Mick Dwyer just running into position to take it perfectly.
Well, almost directly in front for the first score of the game coming up. Mick Dwyer kicks. Goal umpire doesn't move. And it's a goal.
There's out a good drop punt for goal.
Well, he's a very clever player, Mick Dwyer. Missed a lot of games last year through injury. The bounce of the ball again. Phil Scott to do the ruck work against Damien Kitschke. Players crashing in. That was Tim Peakin holding the man. Decision will go the way of the Saints, and it will be taken by Tim Peakin.
Peakin still in the square to put St Kilda back into attack again. Goes straight down the centre. Rance tried to punch the ball clear. Didn't get it into the open spaces as he tried to or wanted to. Lamb's kick is high. Big pack of players down there. Eagles in plenty at the fall of the ball. And here comes St Kilda again. Coughlin. Up towards half forward. St Kilda doing well. Snapshot by Wilson. Looks pretty good. That's his first for his new club. Brian Wilson, a much-travelled footballer, Bernie, and he looks pretty fit.
Yes, he looks very keen too, Brian Wilson. A very enthusiastic type player. Good contest here from Tony Lockett, going back into the play, caught underneath the ball, and Brian Wilson finishing off the 1982 Brownlow medalist there. He will be a big acquisition for St Kilda.
As I said earlier, that will be a very dangerous full forward line, particularly with Brian Wilson there. He's a very clever player, and it'll be a good foil down there for Lockett. And with Jimmy Cracker lurking in the forward pocket also, they can get it down there, they'll be very dangerous. The Saints, as the ball is back in the centre. Number one you see there is Stephen Newport, who was an excellent stopper for many years for Melbourne. Bit of a surprise to a number of people. There's a quick kick by Jackson towards the half-forward line. The Eagles have to do something quickly. Here's Chris Mainwaring on the left foot, hooking it back at goal, and he's high, wide and handsome, and out of bounds on the full. Terrific player, Mainwaring. Since he came into this competition, he's just been so consistent for the Eagles. This is Nathan Burke about to bring it back into play towards the half-back line. Danny Frawley sets himself centre of the pack, punched down by Phil Scott from behind. Frawley, a quick hand pass. Here's a chance for Peter Wilson to straighten up and fire at goal. He swings it back. Yes, it's a goal to the Eagles.
12 plays 6. The Wilsons have kicked 2 goals. There are the Beach Boys. Kitschke doesn't get it very far. Picked up by Turley. Turley's kick bounces just inside the 50-metre line. Hines shoots out a hand pass. That was not too bad. Now a chance for Wilson again. Umpire says a throw. Didn't look like it to me, but he's closer.
I think the umpires are tracking down on that a bit too, Pete. That one where they're throwing it over the head and pretending to hand pass. That has been creeping into the game a bit over the last couple of seasons.
I've seen worse than that not played though, Bernie, by the same token.
There's had a lot of publicity in the media in Melbourne in recent weeks, though, about the handball.
Burke to half-back. Well, Rance got nudged out of it. Umpire didn't think so. Coghlan straight down the ground with his kick. Not a long one. Here's the new skipper. Worsfold. Good bump by Coghlan. Put him out of business. Dwyer. Here's a good race. Oh, Lockett. Did he come in pretty solidly, but Lockyer finishes up with the ball. Barrett dragged when not in possession. And Barrett's really going in hard. Made the ball his objective. It is out of bounds. Could have got a free kick. And he looks pretty solid too. Been working on the weights during the summer months. Boundary thrown on the outer side.
Close to the half-forward line for the Saints. Stuart Lowe against Phil Scott. That was Russell Morris with a high ball towards half-foot. Oh, Rance stood his ground. Popped one around the neck. Here's Johnny Worsfold. Under a lot of pressure. Gets in a hand pass. Further afield to Turley. On to Rance, who ducks the tackle. On with another hand pass to Scott, who just took his eyes off it at the split second. Socket away from that player. In goes Guy McKenna. It's a loose one. Peter Wilson crashes his way through the pack. That was good play. Jason Daniels. Whoa, high tackle on Daniels. Gets on with the game. That was good play to Frawley, and Frawley long looking for Lockett. Out he comes. Oh, good mark in front by Wilson. Excellent mark. And, gee, Lockett moved quickly to that ball, Bernie.
That's what he's lacked over the last couple of seasons, mobility. And well done, Brian Wilson, holding his ground there.
Like his new haircut, Bernie.
Looks all right to me, Pete. No complaints from me.
Brian Wilson has already kicked the goal. And he's looking for the short one here. I feel he's hoping that someone will chip into the gap in our Wilson. Yes, there it is. It's Jimmy Cracker. Back it comes to Wilson. He's under enormous pressure. Plays diving on the ball. Jason Daniels. Quick hand pass. It's tapped away. The Eagles going in very, very hard. Here's Frank Coghlan trying to play the ball in front of him. Mainway. That could be holding the ball. No. I thought the umpire might have paid that one.
Malthouse already on the phone. I don't think he'd be too happy with the way his side has started. St Kilda have been first to the ball in the main, but it's early days yet. Daniels through some pretty heavy traffic. Did well to get it out to Cracker. Steadies, went for distance with that kick. Lockett and Lockyer. Ugle with McAdam. There's some class there. Boundary line might be too close for them all. It is. And we'll see a throw in about 40 metres from goal.
A good matchup, Bernie. There's Kenny Sheldon. Good matchup putting Lockyer on Tony Lockett.
Well, he is strong, Lockyer, and tall, and spoils very well.
Lowe and Scott. One by Lowe. Well, good tackle by Scott. Comes out to Brennan. Kicks into the man on the mark. And the Eagles under plenty of pressure. Lockett, another chance right in front of goal. He's got a little bit of space. Fine tackle. He's dragged down. Lockyer again, doing well. Goes for the boundary line. And the mark taken just inside it by Brennan.
Michael Brennan, who last year played most of his football at full-back, and good coaching by Mick Malthouse not to pit him against Lockett. He'd be a little bit too big for him. There's Kitski setting himself at the mark. On to Wilson, who's looking extremely dangerous. Wilson, the full forward. Lockett at the back. And it was a push out that will go to the Eagles, to Murray Rance. Or will it go to his teammate? In fact, he's coming back with a hand pass to Rance. Rance, a beautiful kick to Mainwaring, and finds him at half-back, closely attended by Daniels. Mainwaring will want to get on with it here. He does, on the left foot, to the wide open spaces. This is Guy McKenna after it, with a very highly skilled player. Good play by McKenna, looking for Sumich. Sumich at the back. He'll come in and grab it now, Peter Sumich, with a clever hand pass, finds Jackson. Jackson around onto the right foot, straightens up and kicks straight into the man. In goes Peter Wilson. Tries to tap it back to Jackson. Backup support from Turley.
Play on!
Again, it's Wilson. Grabbed when he didn't have the ball. Must be a free kick. And it is. Peter Wilson.
Played for that, didn't he, Bernie?
Well, he did play for it, but it was clever play by Wilson, because he did get rid of the ball, and the player there that was involved for St Kilda, Newport, had no idea that the ball had been knocked to the ground. And Peter Wilson ends up with his second shot for goal.
Well, he's kicked one. It's a fairly breezy night, though. It won't be an easy kick. He's from 30 metres. He kicks. Will it straighten up? It's sneaking, I think. Now, no, he's missed. Well, that was very, very close to the post and just a little bit to the left. So bad luck to Wilson. West Coast 1-1. St Kilda 2 straight kicks.
5 points the difference. And you would suggest that the Eagles probably got the advantage of the win here. Hines' kick should be marked by Kitchke, and it is. Wilson being asked to come back on the mark, which he does. No, he hasn't done. 50 metres he's got. Well, he did step over it, I guess, marginally, and that was the reason for the free kick.
And there was young Andrew Cracker in the crowd there, Jimmy's brother.
Hold it, Damien, hold it, hold it.
Of course, Phil's training out of Footscray, having another go at the AFL also.
Kicked into Wilson again. This time it's Grant. Wobbly punt kick to half forward. Cracker seemingly everywhere. Now that one was over the head as well. This time the umpire calls play on. Chance again for McAdam. Snapshot. That's pretty close. It's through. A goal. McAdam's first goal, and the Saints are late. 3 goals to 1-1.
Yes, it looks as if we're looking at a very highly skilled St Kilda side this season, especially with McAdam into the side. Jimmy Cracker, of course, we know what his skills are like. The hand pass over the top. Newport will add a lot of life around the pack. And there's McAdam finishing it off. 1988 McGarry medalist coming from Central District, and he looks all class.
Well, a great start to this game, and that'll give young Gilbert McAdam plenty of confidence. Recruited from Central Districts in South Australia. Been trying to get him for a few years. A number of clubs have been after him, in fact. There's Mick Dwyer lying on top of the ball. It'll be a bounce. A good start for the Saints. They've got an abysmal record out on this ground in the night series and also in the home and away games. Here's Russell Morris in after it. Beaten for it by Jackson to Guy McKenna. On to Brennan. Brennan with a quick kick to the half-forward line. That's Hetty, a good mark. He's wearing number 1 this year, not number 39. His teammate Waterman will be wearing that. The short pass is on to Sumic. Can't take the mark. Goes and gets it again, Peter Sumic. Was that a push in the back? The umpire said yes. In fact, he said he was being held. But he played for it, I thought, Bertie, but he got it.
Well, Shanahan had no reason to grab him there because the ball had spilled out of his grasp. Out of Sumic's grasp, as we see that. Shanahan only intent on dragging him down, but he also threw himself down at the end to Sumic. A little bit of acting there.
Peter Sumic. Great season last year. We'll never forget this ground. After he missed that easy shot from 10 metres against Collingwood. Now he's hooked this one. Is it swinging back with the breeze? I don't think enough. No, he's missed. So 2 bad misses for the Eagles. And being a typical full forward, he's not happy with himself. Kevin Bartlett and one of his daughters on screen.
Richmond play here next Wednesday. Coghlan does just that. This time it's a better kick. Russell Morris takes the mark in front of the new West Coast Eagles skipper. Looking for 50 metres perhaps, but it's not there. Morris to half forward. Lockett and Lockyer. Ugle carts it over the line. St Kilda supporters saying deliberate. Would have been harsh had it been free kicked. Left forward pocket for St Kilda. Kicking towards the City end goal. Morris does the ruck work. Brennan wins over the top. Cracker get it out to Wilson from a standing start. I think that was touched, so it won't be a mark. Lowe got 2 hands to it.
Oh.
Has he played it? He has.
Oh. Well, that's one of the best marks you'd ever see. Stewie
It was courageous, wasn't it, Bernie?
Oh. And away he went back into that pack. Eyes only for the ball. Coming it everywhere. Coming from everywhere at Stewie Lowe. Look at him. Just straight back into it. Oh, that is a magnificent effort.
Sensational, mate.
Steve Alexos. There.
Now, I guess to be hypercritical, the thing you would say about Stewie's game, his kicking has let him down in seasons past, but he's not too far out here. Only about 30 metres, pretty well directly in front. So a real big chance for his first goal of the night. And he gets it.
Marking ability, as Bernie Quinlan said, tremendous courage shown. There's Turley trying to hook it out. That was a bit tough. He was trying to get that ball out.
Got to knock it out straight away.
Straight away, the umpire said, as we see Russell Morris kicking long. Well, they can kick along both ends by the looks of it. Punched down by Lockyer. Taken away by Ugle. Ugle to centre wing. Kitschke charging after. Will beat Dwayne Lamb there. Good movement by the big man. Damien Kitschke to centre wing. Coughlin overruns it. Chance here for Brennan. Brennan to the full forward line. It'll hit the deck. Players in after this is Wilson. Caught with the ball. Gets in a quick hand pass. He's got backup support from Heady. Kicks straight into the man. Coming away with it is Nathan Burke. That was good football by the Saints there. Looking good to centre wing. Oh, the Eagles player pushed out of the action there. Scott Waters tries to crash his way through. Coughlin's there also. Now it's Turley. Turley back it comes to Scott. And St Kilda putting enormous pressure on the Eagles.
Tackling well.
Well done by the Saints. It started off there with that smother from Nathan Burke out of the back line, which was absolutely brilliant. But they really look desperate at this early part of the season.
Bounce on centre wing. And remember, they haven't won a night match since 1984. Ball thrown out of the pack. Turley breaks one tackle. Gets around Coughlin. Barrett on right centre wing. Spears the pass down towards full forward. And the mark taken by Ugle. Ugle goes in short, looking for Sumic. And he doesn't let him down. They've had a couple of bad misses down there, the Eagles, and they really need one now.
Good mark there by Sumic. He leads very well and has a strong pair of hands. Also, Pete, his kicking can let him down. He's
got that funny style. He runs out to the left, Bernie, doesn't he?
Exactly. He can kick a bag or he can have an off day where he just cannot find the middle.
Peter Sumic. 45 metres out. Has he drawn it back? It looks okay. It is a goal. And a badly needed one. Kicked by the West Coast Eagles. Their second. They trail by 2 goals.
Yes, well done, Peter Sumic. Good lead, good mark, an excellent kick for goal. Shanahan did everything he could in his powers to try to knock that ball away. But Sumic with that 1 metre break, that's all he needs. Strong pair of hands, good kick for goal. But St Kilda looking good at this early part of the match.
Okay.
10 points the margin. The Saints lead. So it was a handy one to the Eagles. Phil Scott taps it down. Umpire coin play on. That was a push in the back. Would have to be paid to Chris Mainwaring. John Watts fouled into action. Now Mainwaring from the centre of the ground, a high floater to half forward. Hines was the flyer for the Eagles. Barrett is in there. Dean Rice tapping it back. Players can't get away with it. Still at half forward. It's Hines again to Adrian Barrett. He'll try and hook it back in front of goal to Sumic. Sumic wrestling. Oh, free kick Sumic. Oh, no. Shanahan allowed to play on. I thought he was dragged down. It's taken away by Newport. Very unlucky, Peter Sumic. Out wide is Daniels. Oh, Daniels nearly had his head taken off. Umpire playing advantage. Well done, Jason Daniels. On to Newport. Newport to the centre of the ground. Dwayne Lamb, it's over his head as players charge at the ball. Dean Rice goes inside. Umpire calls play on as Dwyer gets it over to Russell Morris. Morris diving on top of it, has it taken away by Rance, and Rance gives it off to Brennan.
Just looking at Rice through the glasses, Pete, he's still down. He hasn't moved. Turley, number 7, from right centre wing. Well, that's a good mark taken by Brett Heady, wearing number 1 this season. Not a well-directed pass. Sumic on the break. Snapshot is well off target. That will be out of bounds on the full. And a free kick to St Kilda in the right back pocket. And looking back upfield, Rice has just got to his feet. We might have it on tape. Here it is.
He just slips here, Pete, as the tackle's about to be applied. And maybe
hit his head, Bernie.
Yeah, maybe his head on the ground, yes.
The ground is anything like my backyard. It's rock hard. Hasn't had too much rain in Melbourne in the last few weeks. Burke from right back pocket with the free. Scott and Kitschke. It's Scott with a fist to it, knocks it over the boundary line, and we'll see a throw in. I think Rice is going to come off the ground. He does look a little bit groggy, and that would be a wise move, especially as in the night series they have 4 interchange players, so Ken Sheldon has plenty of options, and I'm sure we'll see him come back. Michael Roberts or Ian Robertson will be able to bring us some news on that pretty shortly. Wilson hooks it back over his shoulder, doesn't get too much distance with the kick. Burke defending well down there. Here's McAdam on the end of a hand pass, looks for Daniels, who cops. Oh, he gets another heavy one. And finally for St Kilda, Burke, long clearing kick. Still inside the square. 2 number 23s are there. And it's going to be a bounce.
slightly towards the half-forward line for St Kilda. I think we're in for a great game tonight. 4 goals, plays 2-2. With pretty evenly matched sides. There's Steve Newport again, kicking into the forward pocket, has fisted away. Lockett's got 2 to beat here. Rance in front, and Lockett. It'll be a free kick against Tony Lockett. Will go to Murray Rance, who put his body in front. He immediately goes on with a hand pass to Lamb. Lamb kicks to the wide open spaces. The Eagles love these spaces. They play well at this ground. This is Big Phil Scott on the left foot to the half-forward line. Ugle sets himself in front, but over the back is Tim Peakin, the former Fitzroy player.
Peakin at right half-back flank. Ugle stands the mark. Low. Got a couple of hands to it. Kitschke, good tackle on Worsfold. Brushes the ball forward where it's picked up by Turley. Fires out the hand pass. On the end of it, Main Waring. Not a well-directed kick into the pocket. A big pack of players there in the marking contest. And they trip over each other. Who's got the free?
Free to Wilson. Fell on his back, Pete.
Right there, Grant!
Wilson.
Yeah.
Actually, both Wilsons have been in the thick of things, haven't they? He's got over the mark.
Come 5 metres in.
Oh, a high leap by Hines. Has he paid that mark?
Had to pay it, Pete. Yep, definitely. Definite mark.
Well, I wonder if we have that on tape, because I didn't think he marked.
Yes, I thought he held it long enough.
Mick.
He's got it, brought it to the ground. Yeah, I would have paid that. What do you reckon, Pete?
Yep, I'd pay that.
Okay.
It's an excellent mark, actually.
Majority rules. Hines, close in, should score a goal, and has done for the Eagles.
St Kilda started off so well, and now the deficit is only 4 points. West Coast have really picked up their game in the last 5 or 6 minutes, become far more desperate, and this is so much like a lot of those West Australian grounds. There's plenty of space to, and all West Australian teams, very highly skilled teams, always have been for many years. Free kick at the centre. This is Damien Kitschke, and no one on the mark as he kicks long, a booming kick. Lockett at the back, fisted the ground by Lockyer, doing a good job up there. Here's the dangerous Brian Wilson again on the left foot to the pocket. Mark taken by Guy McKenna. He was off. Umpire calls play on. McKenna short and finds Barrett at half back. Adrian Barrett, there was some talk in the newspapers going back a few weeks that the Bears, in fact, were after him. Barrett to centre wing. This is Steve Jackson, and he takes the mark right out in that boundary line.
Right on the boundary line. Jackson to centre wing. Nobody can mark it. Ball finally comes down to Brett Heady. His target was Sumic. He's moving pretty well, gets dragged to the ground. Umpire calls play on. St Kilda defending desperately. Daniels makes front position. Excellent play by the St Kilda Redhead. His target was Dwyer, couldn't find him. Hand pass over the top comes to Main Waring from Lamb. And Ugle leading out well, marks right on 50. Nathan Burke being whistled back on the mark. Might be just a little bit too far out. Malthouse watching closely with quarter time coming up. Very spectacular player, Troy Ugle. Tries to curl that one around. Not successful. Hines got up one-handed. Might be 50. Yes.
I'll tell you what, Pete, I reckon Sumic is getting some pretty rough treatment down that goal square. What do you think, Bernie?
Well, it looked like another certain free kick a couple of seconds ago, Pete, when Shanahan dragged him to the ground, but it looked worse than the one he was paid earlier, in fact, but the umpire let it go.
Well, youthful forwards never did get a good deal. You've been whinching for years. I must agree on that case, though. Scott was the high flyer. Good backup support from Rance, who got collared. That won't be an advantage rule.
I think there's a lot of high tackles tonight. Players not worried about going for the head.
Oh, we've seen about 4 or 5, haven't we? Rice has already been taken off as a result of one. Daniels has copped a couple. And that's a good mark. Kitschke gives the hand pass out. Grant. St Kilda just steadying a little bit. The kick came from Laurie, actually. Close to quarter time. A real ball game here. Onto centre wing. Worsfold will take the hand pass from Turley. No, he won't. Daniels was too fast and elusive for both of them. Peakin with the socks down. Kicks towards the edge of the square. Over the top was Russell Morris, and his teammate Jimmy Cracker collided with him. A chance for Cogler now, and he kicks to the 50-metre line.
Oh, Lowe dragged Rance down at the back then. The umpire missed that. Here's McDwyer after it, lopes after it in his casual manner. on the left foot, hooks it back, looking for Lockett and Lowe. Lowe waiting at the back. Here's the goal coming up. Russell Morris over to Stewie Lowe, an open goal. He kicks and hits the post. So bad luck to the Saints. He should have kicked that one, Bernie.
And let's go down to Michael Roberts. Dean Rice, is he okay?
Yes, they've taken him up in the rooms. It wasn't actually the head-high tackle. It was when he hit the back of his head on the ground. He is a little groggy, but will come back onto the ground.
Okay, that's good news, Michael. Mark taken by Phil Scott. He's doing pretty well, not just at the bounces, but around the ground. Scott from left half-back flank. 2-on-1 marking contest. Jackson, the juggle, takes it. Stephen Jackson, left centre wing. Danny Frawley, Spud, you heard his nickname. That's what he grows up near Ballarat. Hines in front, or he was. And the umpire calls play on. The marker has dropped. Pekin comes out with it, but the umpire has decided on a bounce. Left half forward for the West Coast Eagles as the siren goes to end a very interesting first quarter. Grant Laurie hands the ball back to him. It's the Saints by 5 points. They lead 4-1 to 3-2. By 5 points in a pretty entertaining game here at Waverley. Kitchke wins it from Scott, tried to get it to Dwyer, couldn't do so. Jackson overruns the ball. Well, two Eagles players collided, and that opens it up for Dwyer. And a good kick too. Kicks it across his body. Mark taken by Lockyer, who did a great job on Lockett in the first quarter. He's tried to find his skipper. That'll win him some points. John Worsfold, the new skipper. Back to Guy McKenna, one of the class players in the Eagles lineup. He kicks to Hines on centre wing and has farmed out the hand pass. Worsfold. This time not a good kick. Kitchke's got his name on it. Oh, should have taken it. Jackson. Heady. And the ball over the boundary line in front of he and Tim Pekin. We'll see a boundary throw in about 55 to 60 metres out from the West Coast Eagles goal. They trailed by 5 points early in the second term. Kitchke and Hines. Nobody really came out with that. Grant, a high kick. Newport has it punched away by Turley. Good tackle applied by Frawley. The ball spills free. Wilson. Marking contest, none paid, and again Nathan Burke, Pete, doing some pretty good work down there in defence.
He certainly is, Peter, as he kicks to centre wing, Stewie Lowe. And Lowe moves very well for a big man too, as he kicks to where he's actually playing at half forward. That was Russell Morris. Oh, taken away by McDwyer. He's tripped, and he will take the kick way out at centre half forward. Now with Lockett off the ground, more responsibility now on the other players. Guy McKenna, oh, couldn't quite take the mark. Is Wilson. Well done, Brian Wilson, hooking back at goal. A floater, will it float in? Yes, it does. Great goal to Brian Wilson.
Starting the second quarter as they did the first. And the ball tapped out to Lamb. Ugle tracks it well. Now here's a chance for an Eagles reply. If he can spin it back, he can't. And there is a free kick. I would say Grant would get it without any shadow of doubt. Well, in other words, he's got no choice. Just kick over the man on the mark, which he does. Out to half back. Newport. From right half back, McAdam. His opposite number 5 is Dwayne Lamb. Backup support from Dwyer, but he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. And it'll be a free kick. It'll go to Dwayne Lamb. Or Mainwaring, is he going to take it? I think he'll give it back to Lamb. Yes, he does. Dwayne Lamb. Close to centre wing. Only a short kick. And the umpire has found a free kick, and it's going to St Kilda. The Saints manning up well. Coughlin to take it.
Frank Coughlin kicks to the centre of the ground. Players set themselves on the mark. Turley in after it. Good play by Turley. There's a real goer. Jason Daniels swoops on it. Out to Morris. Russell Morris to half forward for the Saints. That was Bowie charging after it. Backup support from Jimmy Cracker. Now a chance for Steve Newport. The short pass is on. This is Wilson loping after it. Now he's got it, Brian Wilson. Breaks the tackle. Hand pass. Waters is there. Chance for the Saints is charging at it. There's Jamie Shanahan. What's he doing down there, Bernie? Must have been moved.
Just Danny Frawley now playing at full back, and Shanahan
He might have been moved to full forward in place of Lockett.
Yes, he looks like he may be at full forward now with Lockett off the ground.
4-2 plays 3-2. The 5-2 plays 3-2. 2 goals the margin in favour of the Saints.
Rance, Mainwaring on left centre wing. And the Eagles won a couple of goals. Ball hits the deck again, a chance for Pekin, who scoops it out. Daniels has been a busy player, especially early in the first quarter. Russell Morris having trouble trying to pick it up. 2 St Kilda players are there. Daniels, good shepherd by Kitchke. Kicks to half forward. McAdam well underneath the ball. Now he's got a chance to make amends. He kicked a gem of a goal in the first term. Steadies. He's got a bit of class, this fellow. Wilson again. Or should have marked that one, Brian Wilson. Good tackle by Brennan. Waters will rush it through from behind. A point to St Kilda. And the Saints starting the second term, as I said, like they were in the first, looking good early. 5-3 plays 3-2, 13 points the difference.
Andrew Lockyer, who had a good first quarter on Tony Lockett, looks a little bit slimmer this year. He's obviously worked hard over the summer. Good mark to Pekin. Very underrated player, Tim Pekin.
Runner-up in the best and fairest last year at St Kilda, behind Stewie Lowe.
He had a great year. He's not only a stopper, he gets plenty of kicks himself. Now he kicks to the pocket. He was looking for Shanahan, who opened the game at full back. Now, is that in the back? No. It'll be a throw-in the forward pocket for the Saints. They lead 5-3 to 3-2. Started this quarter off particularly well. It's tapped down, and they get out of trouble. The West Coast to the half-back line. Grabbed by Jackson. Over the top he goes to Worsfold, the captain. Oh, bad hand pass. Heady tried to soccer it off the ground. Goes in to get it again, Brett Heady. And the umpire will come in and bounce right in the centre of the ground.
This is a great contest, Peter, isn't it? Both sides really committed tonight. Kenny Sheldon looking on interestedly, along with Peter Hudson.
Jackson and Kitchke. Kitchke did well with the hand pass. McAdam. Oh, kicks the ball a country mile. Could even be a goal. He stopped it. He's kicked 2 beauties tonight. And St Kilda going further ahead. 38-20. St Kilda by 18. Stephen Newport from the circle. And Cracker. Not quite. Malaxos kicks it back to the centre circle again. Knock on by Mainwaring. Actually hit it the wrong way. Real scramble to half forward, still inside the square, and the umpire will bounce it with the Saints in front by 3 goals.
Yes, and towards the end of the first quarter, it looked as though the West Coast were getting on top, but very impressive the start of this quarter by the Saints, and he'd be a little bit worried, Mickey Malthouse, at the moment, because St Kilda are a little bit more committed. That was Waterman trying to get away with the ball. Now it's McAdam. He's throwing himself into the pack. Mainwaring. Hand pass further afield to Turley, then on to Waters. Waters short, has found Peter Wilson. Got to get it moving quickly, the West Coast. Wilson to the half forward line. Here's their chance. Oh, Soom, it's almost a good mark. Couldn't take it. Sock it away. As the players charge after it's tapped onto. And Brett Heady, in fact, was there for the West Coast. Grabbed by Kitchke. He's gone further afield to Ralph Smith, Sean Ralph Smith, the former Hawthorn player. And he's found Newport. Newport onto Grant Laurie. Laurie is a beautiful kick of a ball towards half forward. Players set themselves. Mark not taken by Guy McKenna. Probably should have punched. Here's McAdam, the dangerous Gilbert McAdam again to full forward. Lowe couldn't take the mark. Jimmy Cracker in after it. He's got it, the little fella. Ridden into the ground. I think that's a free kick for in the back. And he'll get on with the game here, Jimmy. Yes, he plays on. He straightens up, fires at goal, and hits the post. Bad luck, the little rover.
Second time they've hit the post. Stewie Lowe did it once.
Good play by Jimmy Crack. Good thinking to get up and get on with the game too. 6-3 St Kilda, playing well. West Coast 3-2.
So their forward line looks good with Jimmy Cracker, McAdam.
Plenty of options there, Bernie, aren't there?
I think also Brian Wilson, the player who's provided the spark tonight on the forward line.
Rance, McAdam. And the courage there shown by Dwyer. He didn't come out with the ball. Probably should have deserved it. Kitchke, he's doing a lot of good work around the ground. Low underneath the ball. Has it punched clear. Wilson, a real live wire on the forward line. Likes a goal. Not a bad sort of a snapshot. And Lockyer missed what he certainly should have taken. Phil Scott. McAdam again. See how he goes with the set shot. Kick 2 already, Gilbert McAdam. And they tell me really starred in the Saints practice match against the Sydney Swans.
Short one, Trent.
It'll be goal number 3 if he's accurate, which I think he is. It's a goal.
McAdam took the easy mark on his chest.
Well, he's providing a lot of drive up there, Gilbert McAdam. He's kicked 3. And they're going to have a very good forward line, particularly when Nicky Winmar, of course, completes his suspension. Here they go forward again. That was Peter Matera kicking it to the forward line. Sumic loses it to Nathan Burke. Burke to centre wing. Oh, chipping in was Phil Scott. Couldn't take the mark. Gets in a hand pass. On it goes to Chris Mainwaring. The short one is on. It's wide of the mark, though. Jackson taps it to the line and, in fact, puts it over. And St Kilda... Well, Tony Lockett we saw go off. It looked like a lower back. What's the report down there, Michael Roberts?
It certainly is, Peter McKenna. It is a lower back problem. They were caught unawares with only 17 men on it at the start of the second quarter, and he looks very tender in that lower back region.
I'd certainly agree the way he left the ground. Nathan Burke again shaping up as one of the best players on the ground. That kick ineffective. He didn't have too many options, I guess, and Mainwaring sees it over the line in front of Dwyer.
And St Kilda officials have come up to tell us that it's not a serious injury, but the back of Lockett, he's having it looked at by the doctor at the moment. That's very kind of St Kilda to do that. Good public relations. As we see Russell Morris go to centre wing, Coughlin to Dwyer, taken away by Hines. Further afield to Chris Waterman. Waterman to the half forward line, and the mark has been taken by Morris. Russell Morris, formerly of Hawthorn, and I know, talking to the coach of Hawthorn, Alan Joyce, he's out here tonight. He was in Adelaide last week, so Hawthorn showing a very professional attitude to the football. Here's Barrage on to Waterman, wearing Brett Heddy's old number, to full forward. Thumped the ground. Very hard up there for Sumic at the moment. This is David Grant tapping it towards the line, and in fact he puts it over at half forward for the Eagles,
who haven't scored so far in this quarter. Been a bit of a drought for them. It's at their right half forward flank. Kitchke doing well in the ruck. Morris shepherds for Grant Laurie. Laurie inboard, Mainwaring and Daniels. And Mainwaring is the one to win out. Low trajectory kick to Hines. Coughlin's right on his hammer. Laurie, a good intercept, and St Kilda running the ball well out of the fence through Tim Pekin. Dwyer underneath the ball, has to try to beat 2 of them, couldn't do so. Hand pass comes out to Barrett from Waterman. Kicks right on 50. He's not a bad kick at goal, this fellow. That looks pretty good. It'll be their first score of the quarter, and 3 for 6 points.
He's a good, honest player for the Eagles. Back to the centre, Scott against Kitchke. Dwyer was in after it. Now Steve Newport taps it out. Good play by Chris Waterman. He's done well since coming on the ground. Dale kick it. Well done to Dwayne Lamb. Up to Sumic. Sumic in front. That's the way you play full forward, Bertie.
Yes, well, out in front, and really Danny Frawley had no hope of cutting that ball away from Sumic. A strong chest mark. You only need that yard break from the full-back, and it makes it very difficult, especially with an open forward line.
Well, he's already kicked 1, Peter Sumic. Normally a pretty good kick. He's directly in front. Oh, he's got the old hooks going again. And when he misses them, he always misses them to the right. Hooks them left to right. Typical left footer.
He remembers that end well too from last year. And Roll Smith coming off the ground.
He's been replaced by Kane Taylor.
Good long kick. In fact, that'll be a mark. Murray Rance inside the square. Grant got a hand to it. Jackson loses out. Hand pass to Morris from Laurie. Up to half forward for St Kilda. Waters. The Eagles just starting to do a little bit better now. Very loose in the first part of the quarter. Waters runs his full distance. Punch down to Wilson. And Wilson spears the pass in towards full forward, but Danny Frawley doing it beautifully. The experienced campaigner, him. Russell Morris marking inside the defensive 50. Hines stands the mark. A former Port Adelaide player. Marking contest. Played there. Out it comes to Turley from Waterman. Sumich backs his judgment. Didn't come out with the ball. And on it goes to Danny Frawley. McKenna punches it clear. Waterman, not Waterman, but Mainwaring did well to get clear of McAdam. Straight down the ground. Oh, Kitchke went a mile in the air. And a big pack of players. Taylor. Out it comes to Morris again. And it wobbles towards the boundary line in front of the small scoreboard, which shows St Kilda well in front. It'll be a boundary throw in.
Well, the Eagles bench, there's Phil Scott having a rest.
There's Michael Brennan back on the ground, has replaced Phil Scott.
Troy Ugle also there. 7-4 plays 4-3. 4 interchange players, of course, in the night series. Steve Newport to centre wing, fisted away by Rance. Mainwaring will head for the line. I would think he was cornered. Good play by Mainwaring. Jackson to half forward. Brennan sets himself in front, can't take the mark. Kicked away by Adrian Barrage. They've got players everywhere. This is Peter Matera going long. Sumich got his name written all over this, Peter Sumich, and went for it one-handed. Should have really taken that mark. Oh, was that a free kick? Umpire said no. Dale kick it, caught. Knocked out of his hands. Barrage dragged the ground. St Kilda working overtime in defence, and that was very good defensive play by the Saints to bottle that up.
Some tremendous tackling there, wasn't there, Pete? Especially Frawley. He looked as if he was out of position there when Sumich was going for that mark. Always makes it very tough for the full forwards.
Hines, Burke, all through some heavy traffic and did well. Craven. It's all the West Coast Eagles, though. It could have been McKenna, who finished up in the arms of Turley. At the half forward, Dwayne Lamb. Didn't really gain too much from it. Sumich looking to get some space between him and his opponent. Frawley couldn't do so. Or Hines, a big leap, didn't come down with it that time. Took a specking at the other end of the ground. Burke's kick, not very far. Wilson, high kick. Real up and under job, that one, close to the boundary line, and Kane Taylor fisted over. It'll be a throw in.
Well, that's twice Peter Wilson on his own has absolutely messed it up. He's got to do a little bit more. Do you agree, Bernie, with his kicking?
Well, he often does that, doesn't he, Peter? You think, gee, he can be a frustrating player, Peter Wilson. He does so many brilliant things, and yet at times he lets himself down.
Hines does the ruck work. This is little Craven. Brings it back into play towards half forward. That's Guy McKenna. Oh, beaten for it by McAdam. Gee, a bit of skill between those two. On it goes to Grant Laurie. Laurie, a beautiful kick towards centre wing. Thumped away from Jimmy Cracker, but he's like a little cat. Then he goes after it, loses it to Mainwaring. Mainwaring with a hand pass, taken by Daniels. Daniels on to Bowie. Bowie goes inside over to Dwyer. Dwyer over the top. Is this McAdam or Cracker? It's Jimmy Cracker from the 50-metre line. Kicks and puts it out of bounds on the full.
Well, that was bad luck by Jimmy Cracker there. He set that play up with a magnificent, desperate tackle. 32 years of age now, Jimmy Cracker, not getting any younger, but still showing plenty of skill and the agility we know he has.
Lockyer kicks in. Mainwaring and Jackson. Neither could come down with the ball. Mainwaring finally, and it's out of bounds, though. The boundary umpire says, and it will be thrown in. A little bit cool tonight in Melbourne. Only about 15 degrees at the moment. Blanket and coffee weather if you're sitting in the outer. Lowe and Jackson. Lamb over the head of Lowe. It'll be out of bounds. So the Eagles probably gaining about 15 to 20 metres. Would like to get another couple before half time. Autumn's come early to Melbourne, but good football weather. Lowe and Jackson again. Jackson did well. Good use of the body. Kitchke probably been the best big man on the ground so far tonight. Morris, Dwyer. Nick Dwyer just outside the centre square. Pack of players down there. Ball becoming a little bit slippery. And it's going to be a West Coast Eagles free kick. Lamb. Play on call from the umpire. Lockyer. Kicks to centre wing. Wilson looking for the free kick, but Mainwaring again, one of the Eagles' best players, Pete.
It's Mainwaring to half forward. Russell Morris read it well and took a good safe mark on the chest.
He's playing very well tonight too, Peter, playing on the half-back line.
I don't know about Michael Brennan on the half forward line for the West Coast, though. I think he's a real dour backman. I don't know whether he's a natural forward, Bernie. We'll soon see. There's Lowe punching it over the back. Mainwaring's come right into the game in this quarter. Turley, Rance, Turley. Oh, slipped over. And that allows Steve Newport to grab it and hook it back to the half-forward line. McAdam sets himself. And Jimmy Cracker, Jimmy couldn't take the mark. The dangerous Brian Wilson's got it. He is a skillful player, Brian Wilson. On to Newport, his former Melbourne teammate. Newport to the pocket. Fisted away by Lockyer, who will be on the receiving end of it. It's Quayne Lamb. Gets it over to Turley, who's had a good game, Craig Turley. Clever hand pass. This is Brennan. Not Brennan, Waterman, I should say, towards half forward. The ball hits the deck, players in after it. Is that holding the ball? Umpire says no. Play on. Wilson. That's better play by Brian Wilson. On it goes to Waterman again. Then at half forward, it's kicked by Brennan, an open goal. Will it float through? No, it's to the left and through for a behind. So the Eagles have picked up their game.
It's looking a lot better, aren't they, Peter?
7-4 plays 4-4.
Grant looks as though he's copped one over the eye. Short pass effective to Steve Newport. Grant again seems to be bleeding from left eyebrow or thereabouts. That's a bit of a nudge out against you, Stewie. Dwayne Lamb takes the free kick. Pretty quick to pounce on that. Hines trying to take the specky from behind again. Tapped out by Sumic. Kick it. Couldn't do that or get a hand pass at it. Holding the ball.
That's really tough decision.
That is dynamite.
I thought both players were vying for the ball on the ground there, and the umpire very quick with the whistle.
Peter Wilson has the free kick. He's kicked one. Make that two. Sumic leads well now. He's missed a couple of easy ones, Pete.
That's much better play by Peter Wilson, Bernie.
Yes, and very poor defence also by St.Kilda, Peter, because they left that gap there and allowed Sumic to run in. That's a job of the half-backs and the back pockets to go and fill up those spaces. Also the ruck rovers. They mustn't leave Sumic a free passage to lead into.
Sumic has kicked one, but he's missed a couple of, well, we could say easy ones. What's he done with this one? And only one behind again.
Well, there's that hook shot again. He just does it time and time again, Peter Sumic. He runs out to the left. He doesn't run the straight line. He runs out to the left and tries to hook it in and swing it in. And he misses it again. This is Damien Kitschke at half-back. And the full forward should kick those goals. Kitschke's had a pretty good game so far. Jimmy Cracker, good overhead mark for a little man. Oh, no, it's not. It's McAdam, actually. And he injured himself as he went down. Gilbert McAdam to the half-forward line. Beautifully directed kick to Pekin. It's a very, very clever kick, that. Yeah, danger for the West Coast as Pekin brings it to the forward line. Jimmy Cracker is there. Over the back. He waits for it. Tapped by Jackson onto Malaxos to Watters. Watters to Guy McKenna. McKenna to Malaxos. And the Eagles out of trouble to centre wing. It's thumped down by Brennan. Peter Matera in after it for the West Coast. Nathan Burke there. Also Barrett. Now he's lying on top of it. He's attempting to punch it. The St Kilda supporters claiming that should have been holding the ball. As Russell Morris has got plenty to say.
Bounce. Close to the boundary and close to half-time. Craven. Oh, you hate those. Jackson did well. Stood his ground perfectly. Short of the right centre wing. Stephen Jackson. Ball tapped over the boundary line. West Coast Eagles gaining a few metres. And Grant Laurie waits for the boundary umpire to throw it back in. 46 plays 29. Less than a minute to go. That's Hines. Don't think I'd pinch his beer in a pub. Especially in Port Adelaide, where he came from. Burke. Laurie taps forward. Newport. Worsfold into his back. Worsfold comes out with the ball, gets it out to Hines. Kick it. McAdam. Newport over the top to the run of Daniels. McKenna in pursuit, won't catch him. This could be a goal. Dwyer steadies. Long hand pass right on the line as Bowie. Dwyer again, 35 out, should go. But hasn't. He's missed it to the near side and through for only one behind. So it was set up well. It did indeed deserve better.
It was a beautiful build-up there by the St Kilda forwards.
So we won't have any further scoring with only 1 second to go before half-time. And, in fact, there is the siren. Murray Rance has the ball, but it will matter little. And the scoreboard will show at the main change that St Kilda enjoys a pretty handy lead in the Foster's Cup. 7-5-47. They lead the Eagles by 3 goals, 4-5-29. Kitchke again gets the tap out, but doesn't tap it very far. And as you can see, a pretty big pack developing. Only about a metre or so from the circle. Main Waring is the last to get up. The umpire once again will bounce. And umpires tonight, Darren Goldspink and Trevor Garrett from Western Australia, having his first game. Kick by Worsfold, pretty short. Barrett kicked a beautiful goal. That's a long kick. Bounces inside the circle, the semicircle.
Come back 2 metres, Monkey. Monkey, 2 metres.
Grant has been stitched up at half-time. Goes very wide. Newport and Worsfold. West Coast Eagles skipper spoiling from behind, and the kick by Newport nearly went out of bounds. It actually stayed in. Hines back to Worsfold. Over it goes to Jackson. Onto his left foot. Not a particularly good kick. Frawley did well. Kicks to Newport. Might get a free kick. No, the umpire. Now he has. So Stephen Newport, as Jackson trots off to take the free kick. Newport at right half back. Ian Wilson, former Melbourne players, both doing well tonight. Stewie Lowe, the man mountain, with the biggest hands in the game. Laurie. Malaxos, former captain. Wilson on the burst at right half forward, gets around Lowe, shocking kick. His kicking has let him down tonight, even though he's kicked a couple of goals. Morris came out from defence, socked away by Frawley. Rebound goes the Eagles' way. Comes into the hands of Rance. The hand pass came from Waterman. That'll be a score, but not a major one. It's through for only 1 point to make the difference 17 points.
Well, actually, that was a bad miss by Murray Rance, because he was clear by 10 metres. Could have really steadied and slammed that one through. A couple of young Saints supporters. And, well, the majority of the supporters tonight, of course, will be St Kilda. And I think they're hoping for a big year. That's punched down by Jackson. Grant, very underrated player, David Grant. Very strong overhead. Punched away by Lamb. Disciplined play. Peter Matera in after it. Taps it with the left hand. Socket off the ground for the Saints. And the mark has been taken at half-back by Nathan Burke, who's defended very, very strongly tonight. And very good in the clinches, Nathan Burke. To centre wing, Low. Oh, look at the strength. Did he mark it? Yes, the umpire said he just shoved Rance out of the way. Stuart Lowe. Over to Burke. Burke to the half-forward line. Jimmy Cracker in front. Can't take the mark. McAdam cleverly over the top. Tapped on by Shanahan, and players going after it again. Here's Jimmy Cracker, dangerous from half-forward. A high, wobbly one right up in front of goal. Punched down by Turley was good football. Grabbed by, was that Newport, hooking it back in front of goal, and it's fisted away and through for a behind. So, in fact, it was Sean Ralph Smith, number 13. We just saw on screen the former Hawthorn player. Phil Scott warming up. Andrew Lockyer bring it straight down the ground, and they'll really have to get a move on the West Coast.
18 points the difference.
Stewie Lowe really getting on top at centre-half forward now. 3 marks at the start of this third quarter. Throwing himself in the air, trying to take those marks. Very desperate, Stewie Lowe.
And they're probably up against or up with the leading mark takers in the competition again this year. Again, not a good kick. Rance should have taken the mark. Cracker offloaded. Now Rance will get a hand pass away to Watters. Watters from the left half-back flank. Kicks blindly. Burke again. As Peter McKenna mentioned, one of the best in Kilda. It's Kane Taylor actually this time. The St Kilda backline has been very solid, and that's indicated on the scoreboard. Only 4 goals kicked against them so far. Mainwaring kicks to centre wing. Wilson over the top. Morris dropped it. Coghlan around Mainwaring. A wobbly punt kick over the head of Stewie Lowe this time. Was that a high tackle on Rance? Could have been. Umpire says play on. Could have been holding the ball too. Waters. Into the open space. Kick it. Rance. Short to Waterman. Lamb. Dwyer in pursuit. Won't catch him.
Oh.
Bad disposal. And Kitchke again chipping into space to take an uncontested mark. So the Eagles making some elementary mistakes at the moment. St Kilda's forward line excellent. Low pushes his opponent. It's ridden into the ground by Kickett. The umpire calling play on. No one's going anywhere. And the obvious decision is a bounce, becoming very congested out there, pretty close to the centre of the ground.
Yeah, some of the Eagles' disposal tonight's been very, very poor, which is not like them. It is early in the season, of course. Well, that could be a free kick for the Saints. No, umpire calls play on now. This is Waterman. To the half-forward line, Dale Kickett in the front of the pack. Morris ridden into the ground. Nathan Burke is there. Got backup support from Kane Taylor. Newport's there also. Taken away by Dale Kickett. A clever little hand pass. Finds Matera, who taps it on. Tries to get onto the right foot. Hooks it back in front of goal. It beats the pack. It's bouncing towards the goal. Will it bounce through? No. It's wrong side. One behind to the West Coast. There's Danny Frawley. Oh, there's a lone West Coast supporter here, so they've got one.
It's about all. Russell Morris just up from the back pocket. Kitchke again gets the climb, doesn't get the mark. Newport tackled by Jackson. McKenna. Scott Waters. Plenty of pressure being applied out there. I don't know whether you'd call it hunting in packs, but it hasn't really been pretty stuffed this quarter.
No, it's been pretty tight in close, Pete. Both sides desperate to get the break in this third quarter. And no quarter given.
Boundary throw in. Kitchke. Ralph Smith. Dwyer. Daniels at left half forward. And Cracker a little bit late. Did spoil Lockyer though. Shanahan. A high kick. And is that out on the full? No, it's not, says the boundary umpire. It'll be thrown in.
Well, it's deep in that forward pocket there, Steve Malaxos. Not captain this year, of course. That award or honour has gone to John Worsfold. 7-6 plays 4-7. Not a lot in this game at the moment. West Coast trying to desperately to get back into. Was that a free kick to Turley for in the back? Umpire said yes.
There's Phil Cracker right into his back there.
He's played well, Bernie. Craig Turley.
Yeah, he's been in the hurly-burly all night, hasn't he?
To the half-back line. Oh, the big St Kilda players are there. Hines was the flyer. Is that Jimmy Cracker or McAdam? It's Jimmy Cracker. Well done. On the left foot, hooks it up in front of goal. Can someone take a mark? Lowers there. The big hands went up. Turley again, brilliant. Well played, Craig Turley. Tremendous play on the Mainwaring. Mainwaring with desperation off the ground, but straight to Daniels. Jason Daniels caught. Gets in a hand pass. This is McAdam going for goal number 4. Gilbert McAdam has missed. But he's dangerous, Bernie.
Yes, he probably had a little bit more time to steady there, Gilbert McAdam, but the pressure that's being applied by both sides just showing there in this third quarter. McAdam just getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker than he needed to.
13 minutes left in the term. The new captain for the West Coast Eagles, John Worsfold, from left half back. Good long kick up to the centre wing position, and that's a strong mark taken by Murray Rance.
Spoil required there from Grant.
He can't play on. He has to go over the mark. I don't know how old the moustache is, but I don't remember it last year. He's got a little bit more than a moustache. Hines. Wilson. Back to Hines. I don't know what variety of kick you'd call that. It's not what he'd like anyway, because Laurie's taken the mark. Ralph Smith got 2 hands to it. Couldn't come down with it. McAdam. Daniels inside the square. St Kilda looking good. Coughlin, a high kick. Good defence by the Eagles. Ball fisted away. Cracker, still dangerous. Look for McAdam. Waters chipped in front to take a good mark. Rance. didn't gain too much except retaining possession, the Eagles, but Murray Rance will get them out of danger from right half-back.
Well, he's had a great clash with Lowe. He hasn't been disgraced, Murray Rance. This is Adrian Barrich from half-back to centre wing. Oh, good mark under pressure to Hines, Port Adelaide recruit. I agree with you. I wouldn't like to meet him in a dark night in an alley, Pete.
It's fearsome.
Now here's Dale Kickett. Quick kick to centre wing. Could have been a free kick. Now, is that Nathan Burke or Kane Taylor? The two lookalikes. I think it's Nathan Burke at half-back.
He's been magnificent too in defence for St Kilda.
Oh, he's a desperado.
He's really desperate.
Started at the age of about 17. He's been a terrific player ever since he came to St Kilda. Look at the mark. Big hands of Stewie Lowe. And on he gets with the game too. Up to full forward. Shanahan is the flyer. Punch to ground. Lamb. Quick kick to centre. Oh, they've lost it this time. This is Worsfold. A chance now for the Eagles. Where's Sumich? Well, Wilson chipped in front. Now, will he play on? He will. He can straighten up and fire a goal, Peter Wilson. He kicks and misses. So they are really offline tonight, the Eagles. That should have been a goal from there. 7-7 plays 4-8.
Yes, they've only managed 3 behinds. Interesting. Interesting look. I don't think it'll take on.
I don't think so. Oh, Russell Morris cops a solid one. Morris has the mark. Probably would have got the free kick as well from right half back. Tries for Tim Pekin. He doesn't let him down, marking in front of Mainwaring.
Was that good played in by John Worsfold, Bernie, when he shoved him in the back?
I'm not saying anything. Mick Malthouse might be listening again.
Low, McKenna, Coghlan. Good hand pass. Ralph Smith at right half forward, the former Hawthorn player. Low trajectory pass, badly directed. Lockyer. Now a chance for Matera, who backs himself with pace and gets away with it again. Hines. Oh, he sold Worsfold into trouble. They might get out of it. Wilson, a wobbly looking kick. I don't think Kickett can get there. Frawley fumbles and stumbles. Oh, they've got to get a goal here. Sumich off the ground. All clear, full points.
Pretty well in check, but on that occasion, trying to tap it through from behind, didn't quite get onto it and allowed an easy goal to Sumich. The West Coast right back in this now. Danger period here for St Kilda. Peter Wilson's been a live wire up forward. Now he kicks to the half-forward line. Dale Kickett caught behind. A chance, though, as Waterman goes over the top. Jackson, an open goal. Kicks. And I think it's another one to the West Coast. Yes, it is.
For the West Coast Eagles.
13,625 here tonight. 5 points the difference in the third quarter. The West Coast coming back. St Kilda again out of the centre. Waters slips over at the crucial moment. Knocked on by Ralph Smith. Chance for Cracker off the ground. Did well. Waters again. Moved down the ground superbly. Hand pass. Malaxos. Newport tackles him. He did well. Kicked out of danger by Barrich. Kitchke goes the spoil. Or did he try to mark? Burke. That's nearly out of bounds. Kitchke can't grab that. And it will be thrown in close to centre wing. Brett Heady. This year wearing number 1. Phil Scott back in the ruck. With Kitchke, who's done best and does well again. That's an Eagles ball. The Eagles coming back strongly. Dwayne Lamb. Kick it. Grant Laurie off the ground. Nathan Burke once more. Dwyer. Hand pass pretty quickly. It's over to Coghlan. Coghlan's kick is long. And the Eagles running in numbers out of defence, or they run into each other. This will give Cracker the chance. Taps the ball out wide. Who's there? McAdam. He's kicked 3. Can he make it 4? 15 metres out. He's missed. And Stewie Lowe was on his own in the goal square. I don't think he saw him, Bernie, did he?
It would have been risky anyway, I think, Pete, because Lockyer was stationed in between. And McAdam took his time on that occasion. He didn't hurry his kick. Had plenty of time to really steady and put that one through, but he's kicked 2 behinds in this third quarter, 2 that should have been goals.
Lockyer straight down to the centre of the ground. Kitchke sets himself in front. 2 bites at the cherry and he takes it. Hand pass on to Burke. To the half-forward line to Daniels. Ooh, Daniels crunched from behind, so it'll be a free kick. And that was against Heady. Now, it's not a great kick, Daniels.
I thought that was good, desperate defence there by Heady.
So did I.
It's a couple metres in
I don't know
front.
whether that was worthy of a free kick because Daniels The umpire indicated a push out. I don't know whether he in the back or not, but it was good play by Heady, I thought.
And there's Daniels, is one of the worst kicks in the game, and he proved it then.
It's a big statement.
Well, he is. And he knows it himself. He is a great player. There's Peter Hudson. Peter Hudson wouldn't be able to believe that kick. He never missed. There's Lockyer to the half-back line. Hines and Scott with the flyers for the West Coast.
Oh, somebody let one go there.
Pretty tough in the clinches there. It's at half-forward for the Saints. John Worsfold. Frank Coughlin on screen. But we're seeing a terrific game, a really good, even, hard contest. This ball forced to the line. Worsfold on the bottom of the pack, a push in the back. It'll go the way of the captain of the West Coast, John Worsfold, and one of my favourite players.
Well, he said this year, Pete, he's going to curb his aggression as well. I don't know whether you saw that in the press. He hasn't shown any of that tonight.
He's the most quiet bloke you'd meet off the field, but boy, he's a tough goer on it. Now, a loose ball. Who'll end up with this one? It's Dwayne Lamb. A wobbly kick to the half-forward line. Dale Kickett. Oh, cleverly taps it on. Good play by the youngster. And still going after it. Kickett. Great play to Wilson. Wilson cleverly to Jackson. Can he pick it up? Oh, in they go after it. Grant Laurie appealing for holding the ball, and the umpire agreed with him. So Grant Laurie will take this penalty free kick on half-back flank.
Laurie kicks to half-back. Newport. Mainwaring. The high kick only travels about 35 to 40 metres. Grant picks up the ball. Not a well-directed hand pass. Kickett almost got his hands to it. They're really hunting. Oh! Kickett gets kicked in the head.
Oh, that was kicking in danger.
Nothing for it from the umpire. Very close to the boundary line. In fact, it's over. Gee, that was could have been worse than it actually turned out. He's okay. Having a few words to the umpire.
Oh, gee, that just missed, didn't it? It could have been very nasty, that one.
Yes, depressed fractures. Not exactly the most pleasant of injuries.
It was a couple of years ago. Trevor Barker, I think, copped a hefty kick in the head at one stage.
So it's a bounce. West Coast Eagles in attack. It's their best quarter so far, but St Kilda still in front. Tapped down by Wilson. Morris. Mainwaring tries to keep it in. Ball slips out of his hands. As I said, with the dew down here, it's a little bit slippery now. The throw-in will follow. Close to the 50-metre line. Still left half-forward flank for the West Coast Eagles. Kitchke edges out Hines. Kick off the ground comes in the direction of Newport. Waters will look for the hand pass. Back it comes to Hines. His kick travels only about 25 metres. Or Grant, good turn of speed, offloaded by Barrich. Into the arms of Burke it comes. He'll look for the hand pass. The recipient is Frawley outside the square. Kick short, Dwyer and Lamb. Daniels traps the ball well. Can't get a hand pass away. Lamb finally kicks up to half forward.
Great play that by the Eagles as Hines kicks to the pocket. Dale Kickett at the back. Makes the tackle on Grant. Grant to Kitchke. He's under pressure. Gets in a quick hand pass. Taken by Grant Laurie. This is a good game of football to watch. Laurie caught. Loses it in the tackle. Pekin. Oh, great play of the West Coast. Allows Matera to go short. That was a poor kick by Peter Matera. And he kicked it straight to Russell Morris. But the tackling then was sensational from both sides. Morris, the centre wing. Guy McKenna. Can't take the mark. This is Dwayne Lamb is having a great quarter. On to Brett Heady. Heady runs to centre wing. Another shocking kick. To half forward it goes. Well picked up by the big man Hines. He's showing a bit of form. This is Adrian Barrich. Oh, good play, Barrich. Well attended by Nathan Burke. And terrific football all round. And that's a throw in and good umpiring to let it go.
Yeah, it's a great game this now. Both sides tackling beautifully. Peter Wilson, Dale Kickett, and that tackle there also from the St Kilda player Nathan Burke.
The West Coast Eagles making St Kilda earn every kick now. Knocked down by Hines. Chance for Wilson. Kick is short. Kick it. Oh, geez, he got the mark. He has. What a great grab that was.
Yes, he was really trapped in between the two St Kilda players there. Dale Kickett. Didn't have much success with Fitzroy. Spent a lot of his time in the seconds. But look at this. Extreme pressure there. Danny Frawley. And also the other St Kilda player, Kane Taylor.
Dale Kickett directly in front. Should score something. It's a goal.
Two very evenly matched sides with 4 minutes of play left before three-quarter time. West Coast have really lifted their work rate. They're tackling particularly hard. Peter Wilson's had a pretty good game. Barrett has played well. Barrett to the half-forward line. Pekin against Matera. Which way will it bounce? Tim Pekin and Peter Matera. Look at this for a battle. Matera to the line and taps it over. Actually surprised me the last couple of years that Peter Matera hasn't been able to hold a regular place in this team. I saw him in a State of Origin game one year play a magnificent game over in the West. Hines has done some nice things. Look at that tap down. Scott Waters. Newport. The hand pass comes back towards Waters. He's in after it. A very highly skilled player, this little rover. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. On the left foot. Up towards full forward. The flyers on by Hines. Charging after it is David Grant. Oh, he's bumped off it by Mainwaring. Good play, Mainwaring. A hand pass over the top. It's fisted away, but there's a free kick. This might go the way of the Eagles, this.
Yes, against Grant on Mainwaring, a high tackle.
So it's down the ground, which is about 15 metres away. Let's have a look.
We'll see this again.
Oh, yes, right across the head.
High forearm, in fact.
And Chris Mainwaring, it was paid further afield in the player to take this will be Kickett, who kicked the goal a moment ago. Dale Kickett going for his second, and what's he done? He's hooked it slowly. Did it sneak in? No. But that point puts the Eagles in front by one solitary behind.
Newport off the ground. He's been replaced by Danny Craven.
3 minutes to go in the quarter. It's been a good one for the West Coast Eagles. They trailed at half-time by 3 goals. And as Bertie said, it's the best game we've had in the series so far. Anybody's match. St Kilda out of defence, not for very long. Daniels across the half-back line, grubs the kick, went past Morris. Going through as Lamb, hurried hand pass, off the ground Hines. Up it comes to half-forward. Rance thought about the hand pass. Passed it with his foot, didn't go to anyone anyhow. Frawley. Hines again. Can't trap the ball, and it'll be a bounce just off the edge of the square.
The player that's made a difference, I think, for the West Coast Eagle is Hines in the ruck with his mobility.
Yeah,
I think he's the type of ruckman that you should be looking for. Very mobile, can take a grab, and also very good on the ground. There he is again. Good
got
knock
up
out.
high there, Bowie. McKenna underneath the ball. Could still trap it if it sits for him. It does. Oh, bad hand pass, but St Kilda's pressuring all night has been good. We saw in the stats at half-time how many tackles they'd applied. Ball slapped further forward. Malaxos in the white boots gets one in the back. Former captain, nothing for it. Cracker. Up the half-forward. Wilson. This will be a goal. Put through by Shanahan.
Brian Wilson gave that hand pass over.
Ball fellas.
Goal eventually kicked by Shanahan, and they go forward again, the Saints. That's Coughlin to the half-forward line. Lockout, caught, gets in a hand pass. A chance here for St Kilda. Dwyer swoops on it, trying to pick it up. All Eagles players coming from everywhere. Good play by the West Coast. That's Murray Rance right out to the open spaces. Chris Mainwaring will trap it. Oh, cleverly done, Mainwaring. This has created the loose man to Wilson. Now let's hope he kicks it better this time. The leader's on. Sumic, one-handed, couldn't bring it down to ground. David Grant, a high floating kick out wide. There's only one man there, and it's Chris Mainwaring. He's got time to drop it, and then casually, oh, it must be pretty slippery out there at the moment as players go to ground. Here's Mainwaring again. Now let's see if he can do better this time. He gets in a hand pass to Wilson. Wilson round onto the right foot. A wobbly kick up in front of goal as Grant goes back. Let's thump the ground. Barrage and Kane Taylor. Taylor bumped off the ball, and Barrage puts it over the line in the forward pocket for the West Coast.
He's been very good too, Barrage. Very strong upper body, providing a little bit of strength that the Eagles need around the packs.
St Kilda by 5 points at a thriller. Less than a minute to go in the third quarter. Now can the Eagles get a goal? Not from this forward move. It's Coughlin. Kicks St Kilda out of danger. Bowie should get there first. The ball sits nicely for him. Waters in pursuit, won't catch him. Tries to centre the ball. Oh, cracker. Now it's McAdam. This could be a headache during the year, those two, in more ways than one. Bowie. There's Cracker. He was looking for him, but he's kicked it out of bounds on the full, so he won't have to worry. And Steve Malaxos will take the free kick. Malthouse and Wiley conferring on the boundary line.
Yeah, Robert Wiley, the ex-Richmond star, so he could kick a goal.
Malaxos from the right half-back flank hugs the boundary line with the kick. Morris tries to spoil, not effective. Hines over to Heady. Long kick to half forward. Plenty of St Kilda players at the fall of the ball. Kick it for the West Coast Eagles. Couldn't pick it up. Saints defending desperately. Clash of heads. And finally it's Pekin. There's the siren for three-quarter time. We could have a thriller in the final quarter with only 5 points the difference in the Foster's Cup. Malthouse comes out to address the players with the Saints leading 8-8 to 7-9. Foster's Cup, St Kilda by 5 points, the winner to tackle Adelaide in the quarterfinals. Kitchke from Scott up over the edge of the square with a thump on. And the Eagles, if they can get a goal here, they'll really be in business. Wilson goes for goal. He's kicked two already. Jackson leads out, couldn't take the grab. Kane Taylor tried to trap it, not successful, and it will be a ball up. And the more than 15, probably about 25. A little bit of cramp down there. It's Jackson. So bounce down, 25 metres out from goal. Ball scrambled out to Matera. Snapshot is off target. 1 point makes the difference. 4 points in favour of the Saints. They've led pretty well all night. 7-10 to 8-8. The Eagles got to the front by 1 point late in the third term. Grant Laurie to bring the ball back straight down the ground. Good long kick. Scott behind low, who can't take the mark. Craven boot the ball quickly, kicks it across his body up towards centre wing. And the bottom is Bowie. Dwyer comes out to Waters, very skillful player, and the whistle has gone. It's going to be a St Kilda free kick, and that was most unfortunate if you're an Eagles supporter, because they had the run and Bowie to take the kick.
Yes, this is Brett Bowie on centre wing. Kicks it straight down to centre half forward. Jimmy Cracker was up in front. Lockyer. The loose man is Main Wearing. And a good mark taken by Tim Pekin.
Back behind it. Wait to let him go.
At the centre wing position. On to Nathan Burke. Burke to the half forward line. It's a wobbly kick, but it's a floater low underneath it. Oh, Shanahan will cut one across the head. Could have been a free kick. Rance brought down the ground. And I think the free kick will go to Murray Rance at half back. Could have been a free kick a moment ago to Shanahan. He really copped one across the neck.
I think Murray's a bit sore too.
Murray Rance, that is an addition to the face, that Mo for sure. Now he's gone short to Steve Malaxos, the captain of last year. Malaxos straight up the centre of the ground, and a good mark taken by Russell
50.
Morris. Now that is 50. Bad play by the West Coast there, because that is a big advantage at 50 metres. Morris will come right down over the centre, and one kick almost landed in the square.
Yes, absolutely stupid play there, Pete, by the West Coast Eagles. Nothing to gain there. The umpire's only going to spot that, and of course Morris kicking from the other 50-metre mark.
Well, it's up in that half-forward flank area. Here's Pekin charging after it. Peter Matera after him. Well done, Tim Pekin. Beautiful play from 45 metres. Straightens up, kicks a goal, drops short, and the mark has been taken by Murray Rance.
It's a thriller in the Foster's Cup. Less than a kick in it. Not too many options for Murray Rance. Scott the target and doesn't let him down. Waters. Heady. Haven't seen too much of Brett Heady tonight. Wearing a new number this year. Dwayne Lamb had a very good third quarter. Lamb from outside the square. Who's he picked out? Morris punches the ball clear. Jackson fumbles at the crucial moment. Brushes two tackles. Did well. And sidesteps adroitly. Down it comes. Kick it. And Bowie. McKenna. Mick Malthouse had words to him at three-quarter time. Brett Heady kicks from outside 50. Too far out to score. Two St Kilda's players in the square. Morris and Laurie. Nathan Burke. Well, the Eagles forward line in disarray down there. Ralph Smith from left half-back flank, the former Hawthorn player, delivers the ball to centre wing. Pekin should get there first. Shuffles it out for Dwyer. Nearly got tripped up. A chance for Matera. Lamb should do the shepherding, which he does effectively. And Jackson again. Man on the mark being brought back. Stephen Jackson from the Foster's side, right on centre wing. Kicks to the 50-metre line. Marking contest, none paid. McAdam Shuffles the ball forward. Off the ground from Kickett. That was good play. He read that beautifully. It won't bounce far enough through, and it dribbles over the line. A throw in next to the behind post.
He's got plenty of skill, hasn't he, Peter? Kickett didn't show much with Fitzroy, but certainly has improved his spirit and aggression since he's back with the West Coast Eagles.
Well, he's done some nice things tonight. Here's a chance. A pot shot at the goals. That is a top goal on the left foot. 2 points after a great snap goal off the pack by Peter Wilson, who's looked dangerous all night. Kitski against Scott. Who'll end up out of the centre. Watters. There's 2 players come at him, and a good decision by the umpire for a bounce.
Jason Daniels off the ground. He's been replaced by Steve Newport.
2 points the difference. A real crowded affair around this bounce. Knocked down by Scott. And the umpire has found a free kick. It's going to the West Coast Eagles. Shepherding against the Saints, and Scott will take the free kick. By being whistled back on the mark. And not a well-judged effort, that. In fact, it's been given a free kick against Danny Frawley for a push.
Pushing the back against Danny Frawley, and I agree with that too, Pete. He was into the back of Sumich.
Well, these are the sort of kicks where Peter Sumich normally kicks them from out here.
He doesn't like this end at VFL Park, I can tell you that much.
I'll tell you what, he's a long kick. He'll go close.
Probably a better side for him than the other side. In view of his unique kicking style, he runs out to the left there, draws it back there, and what's he done with that? It's a goal. Sumich's third, and it couldn't have come at a better time. 9-10 to 8-8.
Yes, he's been a handy player, Peter Sumich, the leading goal kicker in the match, along with Gilbert McAdam. Both players have kicked the 3 goals. There's a free kick again, and Frawley just with his hand in the back of Sumich.
Well, that was Tiggy Touchman.
Well, the hand was still there, and he gave him a little bit of a nudge. When you're in the air, it doesn't take that much to throw a player off.
Well, very lucky free kick that to Peter Sumich, but it was nevertheless paid, and it's a goal. It was a magnificent kick from out there on the 50-metre line, but it was a very, very fortunate free kick. Now there's Kane Taylor. No, Jason Daniels, I should say. And
looks like a shoulder, Pete, does it? Looks like the right shoulder.
Well, let's hope it's not a shoulder injury. It'll take a while to get over them. Centre of the ground, Frank Coughlin crashes his way through. That's what they need. The Saints Lockyer. Caught, gets in a hand pass straight to Coughlin, to Russell Morris, a high kick to the forward line. Stuart Lowe, oh yes, name written all over it. Good strong mark, and I think they've put him down there in the square at full court. And a 50-metre penalty will take him to the line, and I don't think Stuart Lowe can miss this one, Bernie.
No, we'll back him here, I think, Pete.
Bang, right through the middle for a goal. And at the centre bounce.
We're at the centre bounce again. 2 points the difference. 14.5 minutes left in the match. Scott and Kitschke. What is a touch? But the kick comes to Nathan Burke. One of the best on the ground tonight. Morris underneath it. Umpire says play on. The Saints do. The ball booted up by Newport. Lamb, who did well there. Finally gets the hand pass out to Turley. Well, play on. Could have been a mark. Lockie should have taken it. Bowie. Craven. Was that in the back? Coughlin again. Could be a goal to St Kilda. And Wilson is flattened.
No, he held onto it too long, holding the ball. First option was the best one, and he just tried to sidestep.
This is Brett Heady. Heady on right centre wing, putting the Eagles back into attack. And St Kilda standing firm. Grant Laurie couldn't get the hand pass away. Wilson dragged when he didn't have it. Tries to burst through successfully. Great play from Wilson. Kicks to inside 50. Taylor underneath the ball. Kick it. Oh, went without it. Then he gets clobbered. Danny Frawley, beautifully done. Frawley, spud. Kicks to the square. No mark taken. Scott on the bottom of it. The opposite number 12 is Morris. It's his nose rub, holding the ball. That is tough. That is tough.
Yes, the umpires don't mess around with that decision nowadays. Russell Morris forced into the ground, over the top of the ball.
McKenna from Waterman. Now is that 50? St Kilda's already had 4 50-metre penalties so far. The West Coast nil. Laurie has the ball. He's got the mark, and that's what counts.
Well, what a great game we're seeing. Sheer desperation from both sides, and don't let anyone tell you they don't play this pre-season competition flat out. There's Peter Matera in after it. Hand pass to Jackson. Jackson will have to run straight at the ball here. Good play, Jackson. Court gets in a hand pass to Peter Matera. Matera, high floating kick up in front. Sumic versus Frawley. Who'll win out? Frawley falls over. He's got backup support though by Nathan Burke as he takes it through from behind. The St Kilda supporters hooting.
They're not happy with the decision there. They thought that that tackle from Kitchke should have been rewarded on Jackson. It was a magnificent tackle on Jackson.
And there's Grant Laurie. Is a beautiful kick about to bring it back into play. Scoreboard shows 65 playing 62. 3 points in favour of the Eagles.
Winner to tackle Adelaide in the quarterfinals, Scott and Kitchke. Hand pass to Ralph Smith. He's gone short. Burke. McAdam. Newport and McKenna. McKenna's got support if he wants it. Didn't need it. Kicks to half forward. Thumped away by Shanahan. Courage by Waters. Trying to get it out to a teammate. Newport tackles effectively. It'll be a bounce on centre wing.
See the both sides showing an amazing amount of desperation, throwing themselves on the ball, and they're really going at it hard.
Well, how one-eyed can you be? I mean, the umpire did that perfectly. All those St Kilda supporters thought he should have been holding the ball.
I don't think so. Wayne Waring kicks to half forward. That might be in the back. Sean Ralphsmith will take the free kick, much to the delight of the St Kilda fans. And Ralphsmith goes long, kicks to centre field.
Well, the big flyer was Morris. Oh, Dwyer beautifully over the top looking for McAdam. Some backup support for the Eagles here. Peter Matera, he impresses me, this player. I think he's in for a good year. He kicks it long and wide. Kick it. Oh, one-handed, couldn't take it. Oh, high tackle. It'll be a free kick. The ball was going over the line, but a free kick on Sean Ralph Smith by Peter Wilson. And Ralph Smith, there's Mick Malthouse. Very experienced coach, Malthouse. Very good coach, too. Short one is with Grant Laurie. They've got the loose man created here. St Kilda, Kitchke to Frawley. Frawley running the half back and kicking to the half forward line. A one-on-one contest. Guy McKenna doing the spoiling. Now it's Chris Main Waring. It's tapped on by Bowie. Jimmy Cracker hooks it round the corner to half forward. Brian Wilson in the van. Now it's low. On to Wilson. What can the Saints do here? Wilson on the left foot hooks a goal and has missed. And he's not happy with himself. That would have put them in front. Instead, they still trail by 2 points. There's the St Kilda Brains Trust. Kenny Sheldon, the coach, former Carlton champ. And Peter Hudson, one of the greatest full forwards of all time, alongside him. 9-11 plays 9-9. West Coast in front.
But how much longer? Kitchke kicks from outside 50. Morris in front. Lockyer. Craven. Now it comes to Waterman. Long looping hand pass. Brett Heddy, who had his number last year. Shanahan. Pulling forward was McAdam. Bowie. At half forward. Low.
He's quicker than you think, isn't he, Stuart Lowe, Bernie?
Yes, he's a very handy player, Stewie Lowe. Best and fairest last year at St Kilda.
Now Stewie Lowe has the chance to put St Kilda back in front. And they've been doing most of the attacking in this quarter. Now Stewie Lowe has kicked 2 goals so far and he's hit the post once.
You're back 5 metres, Murray.
Umpire just telling Murray Ranch where the mark is. Ranch is going to run in. He's got a bit of room there. And he comes. He's got the goal. Has he? Is it going to the left? One behind only. So it's a point the difference in a thriller. 64 plays 65. The West Coast Eagles have trailed at every change so far. 5 points the difference at three-quarter time. Scott takes the mark at left half back.
Phil Scott to set a wing. Oh, some desperation then by Shanahan. McAdam's there. It's punched further afield for the West Coast. They've created the loose man. This is Brett Heddy. Oh, well picked up too. Beautifully done. Heddy to the half-forward line. Sumic at the back. But coming across the front, excellent mark taken by Grant Laurie. Laurie to centre wing. Russell Morris. Oh, that's a free kick to Morris. He was grabbed by Lockyer, and I think Lockyer felt though that St Kilda were going to get away with it and gave away a professional free kick. Morris to the half-forward line. Is that a free? The umpire calls play on. This is Jimmy Cracker.
That's a throw, surely.
It's almost a throw. Newport has the ball smothered. Sean Ralph Smith loses it. Newport cleverly onto Morris. Quick kick to the half-forward line. In goes Dale, kick it after the ball. Over to Malakos. Malakos trying to get in the hand pass. Lies on top of it. Umpire letting it go. Good umpiring. Frank Coughlin, he loses it in the tackle. So does Sean Ralph Smith as players pounce on top of it. And that is holding the ball. That's right.
That's unbelievable.
Because he made no attempt, Steve Newport, to get that out. He just dived on top of the ball.
He was pinned to the ground. The Eagles player, Matera, had his knee in his back. He couldn't do anything.
Umpire was dead right, Bernie. There's the ball to half-forward Matera. This is Wilson. Grabbed by Laurie. Great game of football. This a left foot hook round the corner to centre wing. Russell Morris over the back. McAdam on to Newport. Newport to the half-forward line. Dwyer. Lamb drops the ball. Dwyer headed for the turf. And again, good umpiring because Mick Dwyer tried to con him into that one.
You love these umpires, don't you, Peter?
Well, they're doing a good job. And I want to get the umpire's ball later in the year.
1 point the difference. Of course, we don't have draws in night football. 2 extra halves of 5 minutes are played if the scores on level at the end of the allotted 4 quarters. So we might go into extra time here. It's still a possibility. Cracker kicks high towards full forward. Low! Just can't get 2 hands to it. Turley tries to get the hand pass away. Dwayne Lamb offloaded Coughlin as he run out of room. Snaps back. Punched away by Rance. Cracker over the head. Snaps.
This is top stuff.
This is great, isn't it?
St Kilda finishing the better.
He's on a bit of an angle here, though, Stewie, though.
Oh, would you back him, Bernie?
He'll get it.
Well, he's only about 10 metres out.
Well, these are harder than they look, these little angle shots.
Oh, so I reckon he'll kick it, Stewie, though, here.
He's about due for one. He's missed a couple and had a poster.
I think I'd back him for
this. He's up to form open in this.
I don't know about that, Pete.
Looks a bit nervous, though, doesn't he?
Johnny, you're on it!
He's got it.
Yeah.
Toyota's final 1990 clearance offers are still on.
Oh, what an offer! Spirited Toyota Corollas for as little as $13,990. Unbelievable! These Camry family sedans or wagons. As low as $16,990.
Plus, huge factory bonuses on Corolla CS Seeker, big V6 Lexans, and Toyota importers. But be quick.
Well, what a game we've got now. 6 minutes of play left, 5 points the margin. Both sides fighting very, very hard to win this Foster's Cup game. Damien Kitschke, he'll get it out the centre. Very, very important this. Kitschke gets it out to half forward, and that's almost a mark to the West Coast. Not paid, all socket off the ground. It's at half forward. Is that a free kick to Cracker? He taps it on. Nathan Burke, a hurry kick. Where's Lowe? Lowe and Rance. Oh, free kick to the West Coast. Should have been. And it is. And Stuart Lowe grabbed Murray Rance as they went for that mark. Rance to half back. And the mark has been taken by Malakos.
Former captain. Cracker stands the mark. Kicks to centre wing. 2-on-1 in favour of the Saints. Mainwaring trips over at the crucial moment. Lets Nathan Burke in. Been a fine contributor tonight. Cracker. Gutsy attempt to mark. Not paid by the umpire. He's paid the boundary throw in.
No mark. Didn't bring it down that one.
You're a hard man, Bernie.
No, definitely no mark.
To number 12, Scott and Morris. Bowie. Brennan. 2 number ones. That's deliberate out of bounds. No. Newport.
Could have been.
Asking the question.
Deliberate, I think, that one.
St Kilda finishing much the better. Scott and Morris again. Newport. Waterman. Steadies the West Coast Eagles. Kitschke in front. At the back was Shanahan. Ball shuffled out of the pack. Mainwaring. a chance, trying his soccer skills. Ineffective, as it turned out. Wild hand pass over the top. Comes out in the direction of Heady. Little Craven. Tries to get it away from Heady. Bowie. Close to the boundary line on right centre wing for St Kilda. Low. The man Mountain out from full forward. Cracker. Wilson. This could be the sealer. Put down your glasses if he kicks it. He's got it. Or was it touched? No, it's there.
The margin now in favour of St Kilda with just over 4 minutes of play left. The West Coast would have to get a goal very, very quickly here. Waterman tries to crash his way through the centre. Sean Ralph Smith, Peter Wilson, a quick kick to the half-forward line. Here's their chance. Kickett has got it. Oh, the hand pass was smothered. That was great play by Pekin, and he's given away a free kick. Dale Kickett. That was desperate play, that by Tim Pekin, to smother that handball when the West Coast were off and running. Pekin to centre wing, Worsfold in front. Russell Morris over the back. It's a loose ball. This is Craven. Craven brought the ground, gets in a hand pass. Russell Morris again. Hurry kick to the half-forward line. Could have been a free kick to Newport. Socket off the ground by Steve Newport. As time ticks away, he kicks it out to centre wing. This is little Craven. Has got it. Hand pass. Finds Newport. Newport to the half-forward line. And it's a mark taken by Frank Coughlin. Frank Coughlin, good honest worker. And if they get a goal down here now, I think it'll be shut the gate. Where's Lowe? Lowe is lurking back in the goal square. He's got a couple of guys to beat. There he is. Oh, what a brilliant mark that one, Bernie.
Well, there's no stopping this man, is there, Stewie Lowe? A great pair of hands. Not only the size of his hands, he just puts himself in all the time. Not afraid to get in front, go for the mark. Two players there, two big players he beat too. Phil Scott coming from behind and Murray Rance trying to put him off in front. But a good move by Kenny Sheldon. Stewie Lowe at full forward and Russell Morris at centre half forward.
Well, with Lockett off the ground, they've lost his marking power, and Lowe has been a thorn in the side of West Coast tonight. And his kicking certainly has improved. He's taking his time, very, very deliberate. He kicks, and he's put another one through, and he's very happy. Stuart Lowe has kicked his 4th goal of the game, and the Saints have the game in their keeping now. 12-10 plays 9-11.
There's 4 goals to Stewie Lowe. Just over 2 minutes left in this match. Stewie Lowe, what a mark. Murray Rance is worried about Stewie Lowe. Let's have a look at that again from another angle. And Stewie Lowe looking to be in an impossible position. With tremendous anticipation. Great play, Stewie Lowe.
4 goals, 2 to Stewie Lowe, and one of those was a poster, 82-65. It'll be the Saints into the quarterfinals. Scott taps the ball, not very far. Morris fumbles, now gets a kick in. McAdam, he's done well tonight, especially early. Might have run out of a little bit of puff. Craven, half forward, and Scott Waters takes the mark. He's been a good player. Matera in front of McAdam. Matera, one of their better players this evening. He's got in short. Scott in front of Coughlin. A couple of stints on the bench. Brennan to the right half forward flank. I think collectively the Eagles have run out of puff. Ralph Smith almost had the ball trapped underneath him, and the umpire though will bounce it. The Eagles did hit the front, but with a minute 18 left, it will be St Kilda through to the quarterfinals, and they'll tackle Adelaide out here, and that's going to be a blockbuster after what the Crows did to Geelong at Football Park during the week. Tim Pekin cuts the ball over the line, and we'll see a boundary throw it, and I know we're looking forward to that one now.
And they'll be very relieved, St Kilda, because this breaks the ice out here. They've had a shocking record for many years out here, St Kilda at Waverley.
And in pre-season competition, Pete.
Yep. Again, the ball forced over the line and out of bounds, but not a good performance by the Saints. The West Coast got themselves back into it in the 3rd quarter and looked like going on with it, but they've fought back with some terrific desperation. St Kilda, they're going to be a difficult side to beat this year, particularly down on their home ground.
They're always hard to beat there, aren't they?
No doubt about that, Peter, and especially the more meritorious this victory with Lockett off the ground too.
Well, when they get Winmar back, of course, he's out for a long time, but they do. They have a very potent forward line. Here's Scott Waters on to Dwayne Lamb. Lamb from 50 metres hooks it up in front of goal, but a nice mark taken down there by Jamie Shanahan. Had a go at Fitzroy. Bertie, did he play in his senior games there?
No, I don't think he played a senior game at Fitzroy, Pete. He was coached by Peter Hudson originally in Hobart.
Well, he's gone short, and he has found Benny Frawley, the captain, and he has got right on top of Peter Sumich. Thumped the ground by Brennan, and Nathan Burke's been a good worker all night. Guy McKenna has had a quiet night. Morris onto Newport. Newport to the half-forward line, and he finds McAdam.
Gilbert McAdam, who's kicked 3 goals so far. And there's Brian Wilson's mark. There's the siren. It's the Saints victorious into the quarterfinals to tackle the Adelaide Crows. 12-10 to 9-11, and they're pretty happy out there.
And so St Kilda advanced to the second round of the Foster's Cup, and they'll play the Adelaide Crows at Waverley on Saturday, March the 2nd. The Crows, incidentally, will play the Eagles in a practice match in Bunbury next Saturday. Before we go tonight, a reminder that our phone lines are open now to record your opinion on the suggestions that the Eagles should change their name to the Perth Eagles. There has been a newspaper poll on the subject, but the Eagles want a wider view. So please let us have your vote. If you want to keep the name West Coast Eagles, call 11626. Country viewers call 09 and then 11626. And if you favour a change to the Perth Eagles, call 11628. Again, country viewers should dial 09 first and then 11628. We'll bring you the results of that poll in 7 Nightly News on Monday night at 6 o'clock. Those numbers again, 11626 to stay with the name West Coast Eagles, 11628 if you'd like the name changed to the Perth Eagles. The lines are open all night and throughout tomorrow. Thanks for joining us tonight. From me for now, a very good night.
The Foster's Cup was presented by Carlton and United Brewers, Mitsubishi, BP, Westpac, and the SGIO. They'll stand by you.
One of the favourites for the Brownlow last year was equal best and fairest at the club, along with Martin Leslie. Here's Gastev.